Well, decided to do a impromptu live stream today. I was going to be sitting around in the layout. I was just reviewing some more cars that'll be coming up on the channel. We've got a bunch coming up that'll be on the regular channel that's just open to everyone, and I just reviewed one that's going to be on the membership only. It's one of these things that we've been talking about for a while. So all this will be coming up. But anyway, so I was sitting here. My wife's kind of down with her back, so she's kind of snoozing today, trying to get rested. My son's got a lot of homework, so I'm going to be just handling this myself today. So I may not see all of the comments that come in. I will try to. Hang on a second here. I'm just getting to the live section. Get stuff up here, so if I see anybody come on, I'll see if I can. There we go. I'm all up. Good. So we're just going to, I'm going to take this area that's right here. I cleaned all this track yesterday because I was testing some engines for some videos. So all of this track is nice and clean all the way around the curve here. So I want to start getting this third track in. I'm pretty sure it's pretty straight.
Winter Night says, hey.
Well, hey, Winter Night. Does this look pretty straight to you?
Yeah, looks good to me.
Doesn't look...
No.
This is the one that was really bad. That's why I'm asking.
Yeah.
So before I put it down, before I start doing the balance.
Just like right here at the end, it just shifts over towards the
Okay, well, if I stop about right here, I'll be all right.
Yeah.
Okay.
Then you can adjust from there.
Yeah, but it all looks pretty straight right through here.
Otherwise, it looks fantastic.
Okay, so good. We'll just go with that then. Okay. So I'm just going to start right here and work my way that way. So.
Oh, hi, Anfield. He was from the live stream I watched yesterday.
Oh, hey. We're just doing some work today. We're doing some ballasting. We're going to ballast this section right here. Depending upon how motivated I am, I may be doing the ballasting over here on the right-hand side, to the right of the big downtown area. So we should get this whole area done. This is going to take probably about an hour and a half right here to do this. It's a time-consuming process. I've got my glues, so I'll show you all that. Here's the water that I used to clean the eyedropper with, and this is the glue itself. I just mixed this up a fresh batch because the old one was getting pretty stale. I hadn't done any in a while, so we've got that. Here is the ballast we have right here. What was that engine for testing the track? What was that? Oh, let's see, where is he? I'll see if I can find him and I'll bring him up here. I'll show you which one I tested. We're going to have a video up of it pretty soon. I did testing videos for this guy right here. So we'll be putting that video up probably within the next day or two. And I was just testing it back and forth here to see because that's an Athearn versus the Katos, and they're a little different as far as performance goes. So I wanted to highlight the good parts and the bad parts of it. So we did that. So that's what I was testing here, and I found my track was really dirty. As soon as I got it done, the engine did fairly decently, but I did highlight everything about it. So we are going to start putting the ballast down right here. Again, like I said, this is what I use. I use the gray blend fine ballast. I probably should have ground this down a little bit more. Even though this is the fine ballast from them, it's still awfully big for N scale. It looks fairly decent along here. The only problem that I really see is between the ties. It should be a lot smaller. It should be a lot finer in there. So maybe when I get down to the lower level, it's down below here, I may adjust and I'll start using like a grinding method with a brick or something and just getting this down to almost a powder. Okay, let's see. I'm doing an op session, my HO scale out. Oh, cool. With a GBW, Green Bay Western RS2. Cool. I like Green Bay Western stuff. Is that milk? No, it's not quite milk. What this is it's about this much water right to here. The rest of it is glue to about right here, and the rest of that is dish detergent that you mix in to help the glue penetrate when you start putting it on top. I may not have enough of the dish detergent in here. I'll know once I start using it. Okay.
Evans is here.
Oh, hey Evans. We're not sure we're doing a live stream tomorrow from Mad City. We had a really kind of a rough day yesterday, getting started with the fish fries. There's not a lot of people that help. So Gabe and I wound up doing a lot of the physical stuff on it, and we're just kind of tired from it. So I'm not sure we're going up there tomorrow because all those same train layouts that are there are going to be at the show that we're selling at in Rockford. So, and that's only in 3 weeks. So we just thought we might just skip that tomorrow. So I'm not sure we'll even be on tomorrow, but I thought I'm here. Um, it looked like milk. Yeah, no, it's my glue. So we're here for today, and we're just going to kind of work on this. My son's got homework to do, so I will.
He says, "Thanks for the
Oh,
explanation."
you're welcome for the explanation. I'm just going to go at this, and I'll look up every now and then, and I'll try to respond to comments. Um, I got my brushes here, all set to go. This is what I use to clean the areas when I put the ballast down. Just a plain old. This I bought at Walmart. It's Craft Smart. I think I paid like $3 for a package of around 10 or 12 different types of brushes. Some have these angle sides like this. Some are flat. I like this angle because it allows me to get down inside here next to the rail at an angle like this, and I'm still flat with the rail with the ties themselves. So I'm switching yard, and I have some TTXL cars. Well, cool. All right. So
I'm going to start a goal real quick.
if you want to, I'm not too worried about it.
Yeah.
So either way. Okay, so what I do with the cap is I always put some of the cap like this. It's just easier to get to. For me to get to sprinkle up here because I do everything. It's like sprinkle. It's like sprinkling salt or something on. That's how I do it. I don't use any other devices. I don't use anything special. I just use this in a cap and my fingers. So, all right. So here we go. Let's see what we can get going here.
You got this?
Got this.
Okay.
So you can see some of the buildings in the background back here. So I still haven't got into it yet just to cut these beams out yet because we're having issues with this for clearance on this one set of beams. So I'm just going to be doing away with this beam. Well, a whole set of beams that go back there, but I'll do that later. Right now I'm just going to be working on what I'm doing. Let's see. When I get out from here, I can use my other hand and I can show you here. But all I'm doing right now is I'm just putting some, always start in the middle of the rail. And I put this down in such a way that I don't quite fill it up completely, the gap between the ties. That way, when it's built up in areas a little higher, you've got a place to sweep it, basically, with the brush. Hey, how you doing? You're here on a Saturday. How's Florida? We're starting to, well, we were warming up here. Now we're back to cold and snow. So, all right. So I'm just going to come to right here because then I can shift over to my other hand if I get through this area, and you can just see what it is that I'm doing here. All right. So let's get the brush. And like I said, Gabe is downstairs working on his schoolwork. They assigned him a ton of stuff this week, so he's kind of stressing about it. It's only the third week of classes, and they're already just hammering right now. So he's just a little show, which is another reason we're probably not going to the train show tomorrow. He just got a lot of stuff thrown at him, and he wasn't going to have enough time to have it all ready to go for Monday, with taking all day tomorrow at the train show. So he's going to be just working on that tomorrow. So I just thought, well, I was doing the review on those cars, and the review video on those cars, and I was sitting up here getting ready to do this, and I thought, well, I'll just see if anybody wants to come along while I'm working on this and all that, and we'll just kind of work on roadbed for today. These are areas I've been needing to get done. We got some big changes. I announced them on the membership section coming. Well, not changes so much as additions to the layout, and you'll see them next weekend. I'm going to be starting the build on those this week, so you'll get to see all of the results of that coming up. We're actually adding some extra space for this main level in bench work, and it's going to become our yards, basically, staging area out of this area here, because I want to start working on the bridge that I'm going to be putting across that spans this big gap in the room that you guys know about, that goes between the two side walls here. So I want to start getting to that. And that gap right there with the bridges on it, I'm just not going to have the room to do everything I wanted to do as far as like diesel service facility, um, a thing for this Amtrak that we're getting ready to do. So I figure I'm just going to need a better area, so I'm going to take up some space on a wall. If you need any scaffolding. Yes, our big buildings are now unreachable. The tops of our big buildings, I actually have to now stand on a step ladder to get to the tops of these big guys right here. It's actually not these. These aren't so tall, but the ones that are back over this way are much taller. They reach 4 or 5 feet tall, and I actually have to use a step ladder to get up to the top of those. Because we're already up quite a ways with this bench work, and then you go up another 4 or 5 feet in the height of these towers, and it could be high up there, pretty good. So, and we have taken down more shelving that was on the walls. We're getting ready to prep the walls for a light blue paint. That's just going to be a basic blue. It's not going to be the final background that we're going to have. It's just something to start giving a general sense and feel of what everything's going to look like. I'm just going to go buy a little quart of light blue and paint these two walls that are back behind the city. That way I can start to have have it looking like it's supposed to. How are you doing today? Good afternoon, Eugene. All right, so let's get this set here. I will get ready to shift over hands so that I can show you guys how I work and you can see it a little easier without my hand in the way. Let's see here. There we go. All right, so no running today, obviously, because when I use the brush on this and I'm getting the bits out, the ballast flings everywhere. So I'd constantly be hitting it if I had trains going by me right here. So we're not going to be doing that until after I get everything vacuumed up from this process. So, all right. Whoop. Rolled right off. I found I had a bit of an issue with level on the layout. I got it all corrected. That was just because I had it set on the edge. Okay, so let's get to doing this. And now you can see things a little better. About how much I fill up between the ties. This is just this grunt work that you got to do. You know, it's not glamorous. It's not the great stuff about model railroading, but if you want a layout that looks decent, you got to take your time and do all of this. So what we'll do is we'll get this in here, and then we'll start working with the glue, see how my new glue mix is, if I need to adjust the, add more detergent to it, dish detergent to it, or if I got my combination right. I'm hoping I got the combination right, but we'll see. So anyway, we'll be doing this for today. We're getting real close to 5,000 subscribers, so if you guys haven't subscribed yet, I'd appreciate you doing it. We'd like to hit that by like mid-March or so is our goal for doing that. All right, so there's that. Now we'll just keep working with the brush. But anyway, like I said, I did 4 more reviews of cars and engines. So those videos will be coming over the next week to 2 weeks. I did tank car, hopper, and 2 passenger engines. So that's all going to be coming up. So that would be if you want to see those. They're just like our other ones. But if you want to see them, again, that would be a good reason to like and subscribe because we got some really neat stuff in these reviews. There was a really good set that was for sale. The time's coming up. I was thinking about doing it, but I just don't have the extra funds right now to do it. There's a good set coming up on online. It was all brass, Overland brass. It was I think it was phase 3 of Amtrak. So it goes back a little ways, but that's all right. But extremely cheap. Had an AMD 103 and a material handling car, and what was the other? It had a sleeping car, sleeping car, dining car, and coach car. All Overland models, all factory painted, just spectacular and cheap as dirt. I mean, economy is definitely. This should have been like a $1,100-$1,200 set. It's not even. It's not even a third of that price. So if you're interested, I would say don't let that one get by. I think the price was $399 for 6 pieces of brass. And spectacular. It's all that plated metal. I think the auction, it's actually eBay auction's coming up. I think it's ending in about 2 hours. But if you just type in Overland, if you're in scale and you're looking for something like that, you just type in Overland. Like I said, I really wanted it, but I just don't have the funds to do it. So I'll just share it because it's definitely worth the money. Because it's a powered engine and 5 cars. The single cars are selling right now for. This is not my auction, by the way. I'm not just doing this. I'm not baiting to try to sell something of mine. If I had that, I'd keep it. But it's the single cars sell for about $200 a piece, and the engine sells for about $500 each. And it's only got, I think, like 3 watchers on it right now. So I don't expect it to go. He has a buy it now price of $599. So I mean, even that price is about half of what if you were to buy them individually it sells for. Great deal on it. The only problem is the phase. But if you model like the 90s to probably 90s to early 2000s, that phase would be appropriate. If it was like a phase 5 or better, I'd be hard pressed not to do it. You see BLI is coming out, Fox River Theater cars in scale. No, I didn't see that. Railroad's name, because mine is the Longmont in Pennsylvania. Oh, very good. Well, hey, Model Train Outsider. Greetings. We're just doing a little ballast work today. Just doing stuff around the layout. Well, I wasn't going to today, but because we were going to do live stream tomorrow from Mad City, but we're not doing that now. I had to move a lot of tables yesterday. I've been doing a lot of moving for people and stuff lately, and it just was a long day. So I'm just sitting here on my stool, just putting some ballast down, and tomorrow probably just relax most of the day. And Gabe's got a lot of school work to do, so that's another reason we didn't. And like I said, all these trains, the model groups that we like to film and do stuff with, they're all going to be at the Rockford show that we're actually selling at. So it didn't really matter.
Model Train Outsiders who I tuned into yesterday.
Oh, okay. Model Train Outsiders who you tuned into. Oh, well, good. Good. Well, thank you. Glad you've joined us. We're just doing the grunt work. I get it to where I don't have a single bit of ballast left on any of my ties when I get done with everything. After the glue, I pick everything out. So I try to get it as best I can now so I just don't have so much work to do later. And like I said, they make those little like cylinders that put the stuff on here. But the thing is I sometimes go into between the ties a little bit and I pull more out here and there to make it look more natural. Like, because no roadbed is perfect. Anywhere you go, I mean, you're going to see ups and downs and everything. And so by doing it like this, you get that effect. And it just, it's kind of therapeutic just sitting here doing this stuff. And normally I'd have music on, but obviously for copyright purposes, we're not doing that. So, We're just got to get these fairly cleared off, and then we'll start working the glue in. Because then we do the sides second. We'll get this middle set up. This is the most important part. Want to make sure all the track on each side is clear. Don't have anything up in here that's going to mess with the flanges on the cars or the engines. Oh, well, you can put some pictures on here. You just can't do it. Somebody says, too bad you can't put your pictures on here. If you go to our community spot, our community area of our the main page for our channel, we have a place there where you can share videos, you can share pictures, you can do whatever you like to. Love to see them. So if you want to go share them there, go right ahead. You'd be more than happy to see them. I always like looking at people's works, layouts and models and whatever. Okay, so I think that's pretty good. I've got pretty much everything. I'll have to come in, like I said, with the toothpick later and pick off the little bits here and there, but for the most part, I think we're pretty level. All right, so we'll get, excuse the arms for a minute. I'm going to go buy a new eyedropper pretty soon, just refresh. I use the type that has the downturn like this. You can get these at Walmart. It comes with a straight one and a downturn for I think like $3 for the pack. It's pretty cheap. All right, so I don't get the bubbles. I keep a paper towel here and I get the bubbles that are on the surface of that off so I don't get bubbles on everything. Now I'll see if I got my ratio right. If I'm going to have to add a little more. Yeah, we'll start back here. If I'm going to have to add a little more detergent to it, dish detergent to it. So all I'm doing now is I'm going in between every tie, and I'm just putting a couple little drops in. What did you make this? This is just a model train layout that I'm just in the current, we're in our 5th month of build, and right now I'm just doing track. I can see right now it's kind of beating up on the surface, running off and doing stuff and not playing nicely. So I'm going to go ahead, I think, and add a little more detergent to it. So I'll show you that adjustment. So I just use, I'm not sponsored by Ajax, I'm just using Ajax. So we're just going to put, squirt about like that in there. All this stuff dries clear, so you never have to worry about any of that. Just mix it. There we go. Okay. Clean the end of the brush off. Now I smell now it's getting a little better. Now I smell the actual detergent in the water. So I wasn't smelling that before, and usually that's a good sign that I've got a good mix ratio. So now we're getting, it's all just, you have to play around with it so you get it the way you want it. So we'll go back to doing what we're doing. Get the bubbles off the end, so you got all kind of frothy there. Frothy. All kinds of frothy there at the end. Now we'll see how we're doing. Oh, that's better. Okay, I can already tell that's going down in a little better. I still got nice white. Got plenty of glue. You can see a lot of white there. But by the same token, it's penetrating down in real quick, real easily. Oh, that's good. Yeah. Use restaurant style ketchup mustard dispensers. Oh, there you go. That's big use of whatever you can find. If it works, it works. I hear my wife downstairs doing stuff. Like I said, she hurt her back this week. She's got a really bad back. And she was supposed to be resting, but I hear her down in the kitchen doing stuff, banging pots and pans. and she's supposed to be resting. Well, I came up here so I wouldn't bother her with the TV and make noise and everything so she could rest. What's she doing? Can't win. So I was watching Virtual Rail down there. Well, actually, I was watching Steel Highways channel, and they have 2 cameras out of the Golden Spike Monument in the North Platte Yard, and I didn't realize they had that there. I never really looked for it before. And they've got a camera directed permanently at the hump yard part of the area, and it was cool watching them kicking those cars loose. I've seen it before, but in videos, just not live. And man, they were going. They were just sending, cars constantly down the hill, going every which way. That was really cool, seeing like 6 different cars going to 6 different tracks or multiple cars, and it was pretty neat. I was watching that, and she was kind of dozing, so I came up here to work. Yeah, plotting next dream. Yeah, against me. Yeah, plotting next dream against me. Fortunately, I haven't had any of those in a while, but yeah. You guys go back a little ways, you'll see what I'm talking about. I was having some bad dreams, and they were wife related. Not that she was in them, but stuff she does in her sleep was in them, and it was giving me nightmares. So it's pretty funny. Wasn't funny at the time. I was terrified, but looking back on it now, it's pretty funny. That's going down in there really nice now. We're about halfway down the way now, I think. I don't know. I never try to look ahead because it always seems like there's more here than I want to do if I look too far ahead. So I just concentrate on where I'm at, and then when I get down to the end, it's like, oh, I'm already here versus, oh, I got that much left to go. Jeez Louise. For those who know. Yeah. Some people probably know about the nightmare situation that happened a few weeks ago. That was hilarious. Well, it wasn't hilarious at the time. Like I said, I was terrified. But yeah. If nobody gets it, I'll let in on this. I'll let in on what it was. Yeah. So yeah, so we've just decided to do this, and then we're just probably not going to do the Mad City thing, and we'll do the Rockford thing instead. Since, like I said, we already have our 2 tables there, and we'll be live streaming both days from our tables. And like I said, all the best layouts, all the really best layouts that are at Mad City go to the Rockford show too, because it's a big show as well. It fills 2 huge gyms. They put all the layouts in one and all the dealers in the other, but they're connected by like one of those massive accordion doors. So they open up a couple of them, and so it's just back and forth between the 2. So it's not like the dealers miss out or the layout guys miss out. People just go back and forth really easily. So I have a Conrail B40-8 and an NSGP38-2 on my layout. It's DCC. Well, very good. Good engines. Are they Kato or the Atlas? I think I'm going over the same I just did. I lost track because it wasn't dark enough. It was going down in pretty good though. I'll see here on the sides. When I start doing the sides, that's when I can really tell if I've got my mix right. And then what I mix today will last me for, if I don't use it all in the next couple of days, it'll stay good and fresh for about a week and a half. Then you gotta redo it. I just leave it in the glass uncovered and just add a little bit of water that evaporates and just go right back to it. So, like I said, this is not my favorite thing to do, but it's just stuff you got to do. Unless you use like Kato Unitrack, which already has the slight texture built in and is already in the gray. But I actually see people doing that with the Unitrack too. They put the they'll go ahead and ballast it. They just like the ease of not having to keep all the tracks straight, and they've got their curves set ways, and uh, then they just finish doing it like this. So either way you go, I mean, the way it looks fine, or uh, you can do it like this. If you don't like that plastic look, that plastic, you can take a brush, you get yourself a couple of bottles of flat finish, and brush the plastic, the side plastic. Don't get anything on the rails, but brush the side plastics and make them more of a matte finish, and it won't look so much like a toy. It'll look more realistic. I've actually done that before, and it works really well. But I just like doing the whole rock thing. And then I tell people I have a really good MOW crew. It takes care of all my track really well. I worked in HO all my life helping my dad out. And gotta say, I'm kind of going the wrong direction as I'm getting older here, but I'm working with 63 square feet of space. So I've got a double track, double shelf system. We'll have a helix, and this is what fits. So I've had to figure out how to scale everything down mentally as far as how I do my work processes. One is Walthers and one is Bachman. Okay. Oh, thank you, Mark. Material I'm using right now for this, somebody asked, I'm using the Woodland Scenics Fine Ballast, the gray blend. I don't like one solid color. Um, I like having the variances because it makes it look like shadows. The blacker pieces of material look like shadows to me, so it kind of gives you a very three-dimensional look to it. So I always go with a blend on stuff when I'm doing track work. Now, when I do like the stuff here, these are all that's all just the buff colors of ballast to get all the rock that I have along there. And like I said, I try to keep my tracks separated. You can see right here how I've got um, you've got two separate full tracks here. You don't see all of it connected. I've never liked that look. I'm from New Mexico originally, and the main lines that they had out there, out all across New Mexico, the tracks were separated enough. You always saw differences. You always saw the separate tracks themselves. So that's the effect I'm going for. I know up here I've seen like I watched La Plata on virtual rail. Those tracks are fairly close together, so the ballast does drift to it and connects. I understand that, but from where I grew up and from what I remember, this is how it looks. So, all right, so we've got that down the middle. So I'm going to clean all I do to clean this out while I'm getting more done is I just get that like that, then I leave it in the water. Thank you, Mark. So now we're going to get toothpick, and all I do right now before this stuff starts to dry, it's going to take 24 hours to dry, obviously. As I just try to get as much off of this as I can to start off with, all the extra ballast, so the ties really show. Because when this stuff glues and it sticks, it's really hard to get off. And you really got to pick at it. And then it goes flying, and then I got to vacuum everything all over again. And so I just try to do as much as I possibly can right off the bat here. Bad part is the lighting right here. The lighting on this wall this particular wall used to be really good. But then I started moving my lights around so I could cover other areas, and it's getting worse. Plus, I've got a couple lights up here that are flickering. I've had them for quite a few years. LEDs. I'm going to have to, once I get them replaced, that'll probably help. the lighting and me being able to see everything I'm doing. I don't think you guys are having an issue with the lighting. Uh, from what I see on here, it looks pretty bright to me. Yeah, it does take dedication. That it does do to do it this way. Um, I guess probably just this upper level, not counting the shelf below. Once I get done with the 6 main lines that are up here, and yes, 6 main lines. Once I get done with all 6 main lines up here, I'll probably have a good 40, 50 hours, maybe more, in just doing ballast. And I did paint all my own track. These were black tie tracks. Prior to what I did to them, I used just a basic cheap acrylic craft paint from Walmart. Apple Barrel is the company, and I use Honey Brown. I've shown how to paint some of this. I'm going to be doing that next week, showing I've got tracks installed over there. Usually, I paint all of this stuff on my work table, and then I put it in place, but I was having to repair getting some track adjusted because I had really bad issues with some derailments and jumping track over there. I got it all fixed, and I was be darned if I was going to take the track off just to paint it and not get it back on there right and have it be messed up again. So I just left it, and I'll just have to paint it in place. So I'll be doing that next week sometime. And I'm going to be starting on this monstrous elevated bridge that I'm going to be doing. We're going to start printing that actually later today, the components for that, because I finally got all of the rest of these towers here. I have 3 more of these towers that I'm taking for sale to the Rockford show. And we finally got all the rest of the components painted for the 3 that are over here that I've got to finish. So now that we've got all that done, I can start printing the bridge components for these elevated tracks that go across. And I'll show all that after a while. I'll take a break here and we'll do a quick tour of the layout with the camera. You guys can see what we're doing. And that way you have some context for what I'm talking about. In fact, what I'll do as soon as I get these ties cleaned off right here, I'll back the camera up and I'll show you everything. And then that way, when I'm talking about stuff while I'm working on putting the ballast down on each side, you'll know what it is that I've been talking about on here. We're going to be building it. This is a big city. All these tracks service, monster city. We'll be having between 25 and 30 skyscrapers total. Right now, we've already got 5 done. If it weren't for the fact I was building the ones for sale at the train show, we'd be getting close to having 8 finished. But we're getting that done. Just because the ones I'm printing right now are for our Artemis buildings. And I'm only going to print, when I get a building that I really like, I'm only going to print for 1 month the extra pieces that we'll put up for sale. And then that one, we're moving on from that one. So I don't even know how many we're even going to make available to the public. It won't be the entire, obviously it's not going to be the entire amount because there's no way I'm going to print out. And we're only going to do like 3 buildings each that'll be available. More than likely we'll just sell them at the train shows because when you see them in person, it's so much better than seeing them on the camera. They're really impressive. My son did all of the file work on them. Oh, we'll go have fun working on messing around with the trains, Winter. Thanks for joining us. If you want to hang out for just a couple more minutes, I'll show you the layout if you weren't here when we did the quick review of the layout. Well, maybe I didn't do a quick review. No, I didn't. We just had the camera already set up right here where I was working. Sorry, my hand's in the way. I'm just going to get this out. I've got my platform over here that the station is sitting on that makes it hard to get my hand over in this area. So let me get this done right here, and then we'll do a quick look at the layout, and then I'll set the camera back up, and then we'll start working down the sides. Almost. Like I said, I just don't want to have to pick off too much. Okay, that's pretty good. Now I'm just going to take this, and I'm going to run it on the inside of the rail, make sure I don't have any things stuck. on the inside, and I kind of already did this one on the outside, but I'll hit it again. Okay, so let me jump outside. I remember saying the other week you're putting, yep, we are. We're putting random lights in the buildings. Yep, we are going to be doing that along with random actual interiors, where we'll take like 2 windows together and I'll actually make a room to where, and we'll finish that off so you'll actually have a variety of rooms that way too, just for some extra interest. All right, so let me back out of here, and then I will do a quick tour, and you can see what we're doing, and I'll show you what the bridge area that we're talking about. Okay, so there's the Artemis buildings. These 2 towers are actually the same size. They just don't look like it right now because this is obviously closer. So it's the shorter 2 the same size. So that's the Artemis complex. We will have them all connected by a custom-made room right down over here. The next big project, building-wise, will be the Alexandria. That's going to be right here where the paintbrushes are, and it'll go all the way up to the ceiling. If you weren't with us last time, you can see we finally got rid of this shelf that was up here. Here are the other 2 monster buildings that we have. This is the Leviathan, and that's the Mako. And we're just going to be taking these buildings. They're going to be keep all different types and styles. They're going to be keep wrapping around this whole area up here and all the way down right here. So there's going to be we're going to have the elevated track right here that's going to go through behind right here, like in an alley behind the front set of buildings before you hit the background buildings. Then there'll be also another track, ground level track, not elevated, but ground level track, kind of following with it. Those 3 tracks. We'll have 2 main lines up here and 1 down below. Thank you about the skyscrapers, and hello everyone. So these are going to curve right over to here. We're going to have bridge pieces like this is what I call my bridge pieces. It's actually the elevated pieces you can see right there. They're going to be coming off right here, and we're going to have 2 levels. There'll be one on top of the other, and the tracks are going to be riding on the I-beams. And they're going to be going right beside this track, right all the way across over here to connect up over here. And then that'll connect up with these tracks coming around, coming back over here like this. And then we've got a whole bunch of new stuff that I'll talk about next time that's going over here that's all going to connect in. And then, of course, the helix is going to go right here. And then that's going to come down, and that'll get us to the lower level down over here. And down here we'll have the mountain. This will be a mountainous area behind my work table. This will be some industry along right here. And then underneath right here, we're going to have change out stations. I'm going to have really huge union stations that I can change out underneath here with some sidings for the passengers. And that way everything can just move up and down and go back and forth. So let me back up so you can get an idea what this looks like together. So there's how it looks right now at this point, and it's just going to keep moving. And just, like I said, the Alexandria will be right here up to the ceiling, and then I also have the Titan coming and the Babylon, and those will be coming over here on this side. But next step is going to be to get this bridge done so I can get my 6 main lines. I want to get all 6 main lines in up here so that I can get everything tied in over here to the helix to get everything coming from the city out into the country, the mountains, and all that kind of good stuff. So that's where we're at. All right, so now let me go ahead and put this back where I've been working. Let's see here. Back this up just a little bit so there we get a little more in the picture, so you can see a little more of the skyscrapers and stuff. There. Okay, that'll work. Oh, you're welcome. This way now, catch up to date on what we're doing and where we're headed with it. Like I said, I had some issues. We were starting last live feed. We were putting these braces in because these beams were sagging under the weight of this tower. So I tried to do 2, but it just makes it too narrow for the bigger cars we run. So I got to take this set back out, this inner set of beams back out right here all the way. Once I've done that, everything will clear perfectly. And I really only need this set because this goes right underneath this building, and that puts me with 3 beams underneath here supporting that along with going across. So I may put another one set right back behind, but we'll see. Well, thank you, Mark. Yes, I'm hoping it's going to look really good. Okay, so next step. I'm going to start coming down the backside right here with the road bed. If it does cover up my dirt here, I'll just brush it back out of the way a little ways, and I'll just where I can see it, and then I'll come back in later and I'll add the sand and the dirt back in here to give my defining line like this. This right here is finished. You can really see the nice line between the tracks like I was talking about. So this one will look like that. Right now it's going to get a little dirty. You'll see it connecting, which I said I don't like. So I'll try to keep it as clear as possible. But it will come across, and I'll have to deal with that later. So let me get some more road bed. Hi, Willow. All right. Excuse me. So a little more. So this thing right here, the woodland scenics, I've only used about this much on all of the ballasting I've done so far, and I've done quite a bit. So I'm going to guess it's probably between this level and this level. It's probably going to take me. I'm going to guess about 2 of those bottles total, maybe 2.5, to get it all done. So that's not that bad. You'll notice now this is I've actually seen comments about this when people are working ballast. They'll say, I put ballast down, I glued it down, and it turned it dark. Yes, it does, because it's wet. So give it time. And as you can see, this is so much darker right here than what this is. This is back to being like this. This is no longer because it's wet. So don't panic when you do your ballasting. Give it 24, 48 hours to dry, and it'll go back to looking like what you picked out in the jars that you wanted it to look like. So that's just a tip. Don't freak out about it. It's all right. All right, again, I'm going to have to use this hand, so I'll be in the way just a little bit until I shift over, until I get out a little bit further, because I just can't get close. I'm just too close to this area right here where the station is. So all I'm doing is just carefully, I use my thumb as a guide on top of the rail, and I'm just putting this down right on the outside of the rail. Try not to get any back inside, because it just means more you have to clean off later. And it's better to clean it off out here than it is in here. So just do what you can to be careful. And again, we're going to use the brush and clean all the ties off and mold and sculpt the angles and everything else and get it all done. And make it look nice and straight and even and not wavering all over the place. Like I said, I'd run some trains, but everything can derail right here because stuff's flicking and going everywhere when I'm using the brush. So this is just a ballast day. Ballast day. Great day, ballast day. Trust me, just not my favorite thing to do. So I've really been wanting to get back to scenicking, so I think I'm actually going to start building the mountain on the lower level. It's just a background feature because the tracks just stays level in front of it. So I'm going to be I'm going to probably put it together up here and have it fit in the corner up here and then just install it down below so I can see what it looks like because it's really kind of tight underneath there. So I think that's what I'll wind up doing is you'll actually get to see the carving and everything like I did on my rocks before over here on this rock wall. You'll actually get to be able to see that. Oh, your layout's heading to the dumpster. Oh, that's a shame. There's no way you can salvage it, like cut it apart and take it with you? I know some guys will just take like a sawzall and remove track and stuff and just start cutting the bench work up so they can take it with them. Oh, and from the UK, and you had a train set when you were a kid. Seems like we all had a train set when we were kids, and that's why, or our fathers had a layout, and that's why we're in it. So. Oh, I forgot to tell you guys. Gabe keeps pestering me to tell you. Whenever we put up a target or anything like that, anybody that gives that hits the target, with a chat or something, or they donate the gems or whatever the gifts, your username will be on the layout. We'll be putting a plaque on the front, all the way around on the fascia front, and all the front faces. And when people come, because we are going to be opening this up to the public eventually, probably later this summer. Once we get everything to DC and I can have it where I can just plug in the cab controls on the front and you guys will be able to come and run trains with us. You'll be seen and we'll point it out. And there were also, I've only got about 10 names picked out. So for the buildings, so we'll also be doing goals with that too. And like the first couple people that do the goals and stuff can name one of the buildings that's on here. It has to be a good name. Can't be something dirty, obviously. Nothing political, nothing dirty, nothing like that. Let's see. I never did trains that I remember. He got me a Tyco Santa Fe for 1969, but I never really played with it. Got it at trains 40 plus years later after riding them in Germany. Well, you know, that's cool. It may take a little bit, but that's at least you're back to it. That's the thing. All right, so all I'm going to do now is I'm going to come and get these ends of these ties cleaned off because I want those to show. And then I'll come back and I'll clean the sides, the slopes down on the roadbed. So it has HO scale, and you have a broad. You have two Broadway limited T1s. Cool. I love the T1s. Now, for those of you that don't know it, I'm a railroad artist, or I was before my eyes went bad. And then you're saying, well, why are you working on in scale? Because this I can actually see. I couldn't. The way I used to have to draw, I used to have to take my glasses off and get down real close so I could see all the details I was doing. And even with like a magnifier and stuff, I just can't do it anymore. It gives me headaches. This, when I get tired, I just, I walk away from it for a few hours. But anyway, I've actually drawn, got off topic there, I've actually drawn the Pennsylvania T1 like 3 times. Beautiful engine. Absolutely love it. And for those of you that don't know, because some of you are new here today, uh, I don't know if you noticed in the background when I was doing the tour, this actually right here, this is one of my drawings I did. This is actually colored pencil. This is a print, but I did the original in colored pencil. This is Church Rock down in New Mexico, because, like I said, we're from Albuquerque. And this is the PA that they're restoring down in Texas. I did this for a project for those guys. So anyway, that was the color. I used to do most stuff in black and white, but I did move over to color towards the end there before the eyesight just got me. You see, you just got to do just a little bit of dusting here and get those ties to show up. I like the actual front edge of the tie to show too. So after I get the glue down, I usually come back and I make sure those areas are visible. I know a lot of areas out where roadbed and track are, it's just buried right up to the top of the ties, but I actually just, because I drew it that way, all the years I did it, I always had the edges of the ties visible. So I just like seeing it. It's just that artist part of me. Thank you on the terrain work. Now I get off the extra off the brush and I vacuum my carpets about probably 3 times a week. So uh, I get it all cleaned up. So I'm not too worried about it if it hits down to the floor. Once we get this, then we start pushing it back up the hill. So we start covering all of the real heavy slopes of the roadbed. All right, so start doing that back here. And then when I start putting the glue on, I will start to really push it up there and get it in place. Right now, all I'm trying to do is get this up, and then I'll push it down. I'll do my mush thing. People who have been with me know I do the mush thing. You'll see what that means in a second. Right now, I'm trying to get some of this off before I do the mush thing. Like right here, I'll have to put some in to divide these tracks. I'll have to put some dirt and sand in here. And I actually use, where is it? Here. This is actually tube sand from Menards. I just don't use the big rocks. I get it kind of sifted down to the finer sand, and it's perfect. And people say, well, isn't there salt in that? No, because it's sand that they use. You're never supposed to take it really out of it. It's used for the back of pickup trucks for weight in the wintertime. So if you just go look for tube sand, truck tube sand, you can do it. Oh, yes, and dab, dab, dab. Yes. Dab, dab, dab when I'm gluing, and mush, mush, mush when I'm working on the road bed. You gotta stop making me laugh. I'm not gonna get through sweeping my ballast. Sweeping my poor ballast. Sweep, 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 mush, 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 dab, dab, dab. I entertain myself. Okay, so here's mush, mush, mush. So what I do now that I've kind of got it the way I want it is I've got a little bit of an edge built up, and it's not quite flush anymore. It's got like a, so you got the ends of the ties, the road bed goes down, and then builds up on the edge, and then it slopes off. So now all I do is you just come along here, and I just press it. I go mush, 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 mush. I say the same thing when I'm doing glue. I go dab, 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 dab. So mush, 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 mush. Like I said, I entertain myself. Mush, 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 mush. You can see that little ridge is going down. Mush, 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 mush. This is just contouring and making everything really nice before you start getting the glue in there. Try to get it as good as you can get it to start off with, and it makes things a lot easier later. Mush, 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 mush. We'll do this again when it's wet too. Mush, mush, mush. Because it'll build up, because I'll bring it back up the hill again, and we'll get this little ledge again, and we'll go mush, mush, mush again. Mush, 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 mush. Mush, mush. Okay. Teachers are going insane. Not the only one making sounds when they're making art. Yes, I make sounds. Yeah. Like Bob Ross, you know, he would always make great sounds when he was painting. Whoosh and whoo, and he'd do his sound effects for his water and everything. And of course, his happy little trees. So now that I mushed it, I got to come back and sweep it. So sweep, 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 just because it just kind of went out a little bit on us. So we're about there, though. We're about ready to start gluing this side down. I kind of try to come along here, make sure it seems like I have enough between the ties. That looks pretty good. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Okay, that's fine. Now it will. This is why I painted this gray. I didn't talk about that before we got started. I always paint my roadbed gray so that if I don't get it completely covered and I miss it, nobody's ever going to see it. Like actually, I'm looking right now and you can actually see just a tiny little bit of gray poking out right there from the roadbed underneath. You probably wouldn't notice it, and this is why it's good to have the multicolored ballast. You have in the dark and the light. Nobody's ever going to know. So get a color close to what you're. What I do is I make sure I have the color closest to my dark, between the dark and the mid range. Paint it that, and then if you don't get it all on there, doesn't matter. All right. So here we go again. Now here's the real test to see if I got my balance right on the Ajax, because this will either it'll penetrate and it'll go right where I want it, or it's going to cause little beads to show. You're going to get a little ball that develops, and it's going to suck all the near ballast to it. It's going to roll down the hill. So this is why you use the stuff. All right, here we go. Get the bubbles off the edge like I do. All right, so cross your fingers that I got a good. It's not going to beat up on me. I start right in the middle of the ties, between the ties, and I work my way out to the edge. And it looks like, look, it may be all right. It is kind of adhering to the ties a little more, it's rolling to the ties. So I'm not getting a big bubble right on top, which is a good thing. You don't want a big bubble. You just want it just to go right in and do what it has to do. And that's what the dish detergent does for you. Yeah, now here's how you can tell. Well, I'll do it when I get down closer because you really probably can't see back here. It looks like little explosions. Like when you drop the water on it, it looks like a little, because it spreads out over the entire surface. It doesn't create that little bead. Hello, Steam Dreams. Okay. Hey, long time no see. I had to go out and get a real job. Oh yeah, I saw your post about that. Watch you guys anymore, but today I'm not working, so I'm watching the good. See anybody? Oh, well, glad you've come back. And I changed my name. Was Gage Collective. Oh, okay, I remember that name. And the one that's now working. Were you the one that went to work for either JB Hunt or UP? I can't remember. Somebody was up here talking about they just got a job with one got a job with JB Hunt and one got a job with Union Pacific. And they were very excited about it. Good companies. We were just talking about the North Platte yard that I was watching the rail cam to earlier today, and watching them do that the hump section of it with the sorting of the cars. Love watching that. I'd seen it in videos, but not live, and it was live, so it was kind of cool. The cameras are at the Golden Spike. Wasn't you? Okay. I've been working on my N-scale setup for the back of my pickup. Oh, well, good. I'm glad we've inspired you. Just keep at it. I missed this whole section. Got a little ahead of myself. Got an extra glue and just went right on by where I needed to be. Yeah, that is really going in there nicely. By tomorrow, this stuff will be solid as a rock. You won't be able to. I'll clean up all the ties. Last clean up tomorrow on the ties, and then I'll vacuum everything up, and I won't have to worry about anything because this is all going to be just solid. I mean, it's not going anywhere. I'm not getting any movement on any of that stuff at all. So, and this will help you with your track when seasons change. If you get it all ballasted, you won't get movement. The rails, have a tendency to shrink and expand. This will stop the movement completely if you get this part done. I am going to be putting some sideline details here. I'm probably going to be putting a flange oiler in here somewhere. New job at Prairie Packaging. Okay. Very cool. Chemical company. Very good. Congratulations on that. So we're just coming on down here, and I'll show you here. We're getting closer. When I get really close down here, I'll show you what I mean by how the glue is really doing a good job of just not beating up, and I'm supposed to not come back down here, and I'll start going down the side a little bit, getting things to just start getting the liquid to go down the edge. If you just keep coming back and forth and doing that, you won't get a lot of it to fall off, and it'll stay right where you want it. Have I heard the GWR Castle class? That I haven't. I'm not too familiar with British, because I'm assuming that's Great Western Railway. The only engine classes I really, and it's not just English, I mean, it's pretty much just anywhere. There's only a couple types of engines that I really like, steam engines that I really like. I like articulateds and I like streamliners. So for UK rail, I really like the Mallard and the Coronation classes. Those are my favorite, and I'm going to see if I can find some of those someday in N-scale here so I can run them. and articulated. I don't know if these were ever designed in the UK, but they were run in South Africa and in Australia. It's the Buyer Garretts, and it's an articulated, and I absolutely love it. Rita, hi, Rita. Gonna have a footplate ride on 47. Oh, cool. Oh, here, I did a drawing. I'll show you. If you guys aren't familiar with the Buyer Garretts, a lot of you are, because it is a very popular engine. Here's my drawing of it. I did this. It was done with pencil and just an 18-inch clear ruler. This is the Yellowstone, but then this is the Buyer Garrett. So this is a 484-484. This is their articulated that they have. They basically put two engines together. Cool engines. Like I said, they ran them in. One place I know that they ran them was Australia and the UK. I could be wrong on that, but that seems like that's the only place I heard them running. My dad had a really cool brass one at one time. I don't remember who the manufacturer was. South Shore Railroad. Yes, South Shore. You mean the South Shore out of Chicago? But yes, I have. Aren't they the ones that run the electroliners? I'm pretty sure. I thought they were those ones that are those really beautiful streamliners. It was usually a 4-unit set, and I think they were like this really pretty green with some striping done. I think it was in red or an orangey red or something like that. UK A4 Mallard, yes. Yes, love the Mallards. Absolutely love the Mallards. 126 mile an hour. Wow, wow. That's pretty good. Now, here's one I like articulated. I got a story to tell you. So, I've met many a railroader with my artwork over the years. We were doing a train show one time. I was in Denver, and I got to meet a former steam engineer from Union Pacific. And I don't think I've told this story yet on this channel. Maybe I have, or if I have, it was a long time ago, so probably most of you haven't heard it anyway. So anyway, he was his era that he was an engineer was back in the transition period from steam to diesel. That's when he worked. So he was an engineer on a big boy. No, not a big boy. He was yes, big boy. So it's been a long time since I've talked about this story, and I remember it. Anyway, he was making a run. So they were out, and they got a call that a train needed help getting over, what's the pass in Wyoming? Sherman Hill. So they were pulling themselves already a 100-car freight train with just a single big boy going up Sherman Hill. So anyway, they got the call that a train needed assistance. So they got up behind it on the hill, and it was a coal train, those smaller, I don't remember what type of cars those are. But anyway, they pushed up behind it, and that train actually had engines that had cut out on it. So they just got behind it, single big boy, pushed that train up the hill, pulled their train up the hill, up Sherman Hill, got them onto a siding, and they were able to go by. And when they went by, they said it was the most gratifying thing. Said they passed 4 of the brand new DD40AXs that were on the front of their 100-car coal train. They pushed 4 DDAXs along with a 100-car coal train with their own engine, only one single steam engine, a big boy, and their 100 cars. They were just laughing as they went by, and they could just see how embarrassed the guys were that were doing it, because there'd been a lot of contention, he said, back when you had this new generation of these guys that just thought diesel were it. And he remembered that some of these were the ones that, the steam does not do it doesn't compare anything to the modern diesels, and here a single big boy pulled 2 full 100-car trains up Sherman Hill with 4 DD-40s that couldn't do it because 2 had gone down. That was just, it's like, yeah, those big boys are pretty amazing. That's why I like those huge articulateds. So anyway, I have tons of those stories guys would tell me at the train shows. They'd come up, see one of my pieces of artwork, and it brought back memories for them, and they would just sit and talk for a long time, and I learned a lot of stuff that way. It was good. My wife was there, so it was fortunate. So when I would get somebody that just wanted to talk, I could just tell, they were lonely and wanted to reminisce a bit. I would do that with them, and my wife would take care of the sales with other people, the families that were coming through. So I just learned a lot of stuff doing those things. Merchant Navy class. Here it goes. The greatest gathering celebrating 200 years of British Railway. I blew the whistle. Oh, cool. On the Flying Scotsman. That was just about a year ago? Okay. I just saw, I don't know, I was watching the UK rail cams, and it was live, and they were doing Flying Scotsman, and man, there were a gob of people at every station waiting for it to come in. Beautiful, beautiful engine. Had one in HO at one time. I believe it was a Hornby, maybe a Hornby, I don't know, or Markland, I can't remember. So anyway, I love steam engines as much as diesels, but we're doing a modern city. So what I'm going to do is any of the steam that I get for this, I'm just going to make it as fan runs and stuff, or we may shift the camera to a black and white mode. And because my city, as you saw those buildings, I mean, they could date back to the mid-century last. It's all good old style architecture and everything. So we could easily maybe do a black and white video and do a throwback type of a weekend. Do some runs that way. Have the steam engines going. I may get like a selection of older cars and stuff. So I don't have like modern articulated cars, like Automaxes and stuff, because that just certainly would not fit. But maybe do black and white videoing and do something like that. Well, as you can see, I've been working my way down the side here. I'm getting ready to go do a bunch of mush mush. I am working on N scale. So I used to do HO, but I only have 63 square feet to work in. All right, so I'm going to show you what the detergent does for you. Now watch the glue. See how that just, you drop it on there, it doesn't bead. This is what Ajax detergent does for you. You don't get a single, doesn't draw it up. Even if it's wet, if this didn't have the detergent in it, it would still draw it up into it. It just does a perfect job. So just make sure you play around with it. If you don't see it sinking in like that, then add a little more detergent. It means you just don't quite have the mix right. Don't get discouraged. Just put the road bed back where it fell off and just go at it again. No big deal. All right, so now we're going to really mold this ballast here. I'm going to really push the sides in. Moosh the sides in. I'm going to moosh the sides in. Get my slope here. Okay. Get this thing cleaned out. All I'm doing is just cleaning in water. Well, it's got a lot of soap in it already, but. Okay. So get a fresh paper towel because this is going to get all over the fingers here. So if you've liked this, it's been entertaining. We are going to be starting to work, like I said, I'm getting really burned out on doing the buildings right now. I'm going to start mixing my time between buildings and all these skyscrapers that I've been working on, and I'm going to start to go back to doing, I'm probably going to work on that mountain now. All right, so now we're just going to come in, and I'm just going to push this in, I'm pushing it in to get that slope that the roadbed creates. I got a little bit on here, so that's no big deal. Just wipe it off. There's plenty on here, so you're not going to really lose anything. And if you do, like I said, that gray undercoat of paint on your roadbed will hide it until if you see it later and you just don't like it, you want to cover it over, you can add a little bit of extra roadbed in spots. And just mooshing it down. Motion it down. Then I'll hit the top too. Once I pushed it up like this, I'll hit it one more time on the top as well. Oh, so somebody said he's been watching for a while, since even before when we started moving the trains above the tracks. So what's our finished vision going to be looking like? Well, it's going to be a big city. We're going to have 3 main lines up here on the top. And so I'm just whooshing this down so the tires show again and I get this flat. So it's going to be 3 tracks up here on the pink level and these 3 lower tracks. We're going to have staging over on the other wall, a big yard area, along with another station over there. And then the helix will take us down to the lower level that's down here below me. And that's where the mountain will be, a lot of the scenery, a lot of the industry out in the country, probably a big elevator, and then a big station back over here with another city supposedly starting up in that area. And we'll have that to where we can change that station out, so depending on what I feel like, where I want it to be, we'll probably have like the Cincinnati station, the Denver station, the San Diego, the LA, New York. We'll have a station that represents all of those down here that I can just change out. Let's see. Actually, I work the same as you, but in England it's called Engage. Yep. Okay. So now, same thing we did before. We just want to come in here and we want to make sure the top edge of these ties don't have any of the ballast on them. Looks pretty good. You can actually see some good definition on the sides of those ties, but the ballast is all the way down and covering the roadbed, so that's pretty good. And when it goes off the edge here, if it kind of sticks up, I just moosh it down. My good technical terms, mooshing and dabbing, smooshing. And then we just have this front side to do. And then I'll put the stuff in the middle. I'll show you how I redefine the tracks. I won't do it just yet because putting this on here, I may wind up having to brush some back in the middle. But then we'll get to that. Oh, no problem, John. I'm happy to answer any questions about the layout you have. And right now we are just doing DC, but we will be shifting to DCC once I have basically all the bugs worked out of operations, because I'm getting ready to start having to splice in a bunch of switches. I want to make sure there's no derailment areas, there's nothing going on, and then I'll start wiring up. Once I get all that done, I'm happy with all 6 main lines going, then I'll switch it over to start wiring everything in for DCC. I already have all the main power feeds in. I'll have to just add more. But then we'll start getting to that. So it's all coming. So again, if you liked it, please like and subscribe. Gabe told me I don't say that enough. We're trying to hit 500 subscribers. Or not 500. We did that a long time ago. We're trying to hit 5,000 subscribers by early March, early mid-March, something like that. We'll probably get a big bump when we do the local train show here. Not a lot of people know about me locally here. I haven't joined any clubs yet. I've been debating on which one I want to join because it's going to be limited time that I'd be able to spend doing it. Probably going to be the Rock River Valley Division if I had to guess at it. Okay, so there. Okay. Yeah, I'm the same. I just don't have the space. And so for the other one that says Engage is too small for me to see details and stuff, if it was the same size. Yeah, that's. I understand that. I have really bad vision. I had cataracts, had both eyes done, and I've had a lot of issues since the surgeries. But I find with a good pair of cheater glasses and good light, I'm able to do what I need to do. And I've got a really good magnifier on my work table. And that's the most important thing for me, is that I'll use my cheaters along with the magnifier. And that's how I do all my weathering and everything else that I do on my cars and the hand-painted graffiti and all that kind of stuff. That's plus just general assembly and things like that. Okay, so we have backside done. Let me take a look here. See if I see any of the road bed. I don't see any gray of the road bed, but usually I don't when it's wet like this, but when it dries and it's lighter than this, then it'll stand out. So I may have to do some of that. Patching tomorrow. So let's get this front line here done. I'm getting a little more in the cap. All right, so I think I can just start here with this. I'll do it with this to start off with, and then I'll change over to my other hand like I was doing before. Because I'm running up against this thing. If I was trying to do it with my right hand right now, I'd be knocking this platform, my station platform, all over the place. We'll just do this. I get down about a foot, foot and a half, and I can shift over comfortably. So this is almost a 3-foot section of track. I think it's about 30 inches. Maybe a little bit more. I can't remember what the length of this flex track is, but it's like right in that area. So that's not bad. That's why I'm saying to do the entire layout, top and bottom, I'm going to be putting probably a good 50, 60, maybe even 70 hours in on just doing roadbed. Necessary evil if you want it to look right. Okay, now we can flip it around here. Oh, okay. Stream Dreams, thanks for being here. I'm not sure when our next one will be. We may do a short one tomorrow. I don't know. We were going to go do the train show, like I said, up in Mad City, but we just didn't wind up getting up there this year for it with all that's been going on the past week and a half. Just physically, it's just not ideal right now. See, here I can get my little stool once I get this, and I can keep working on things and be comfortable. With helping a friend move and with our fish fries getting started and having to move tables and doing all kinds of stuff, it's just been it's been quite a week and a half. So, and then we have the train show coming in that we're going to be live at both days that we're actually selling at in Rockford. I've mentioned that. So we'll be doing that anyway. So that's why I'm not too worried about not making it up to Mad City. It'll be the first time we've missed Mad City probably in, well, not counting the COVID years. It's probably the first time we've missed Mad City in like 10 years. And it's just getting older and getting tired physically on doing stuff. All right, so let's get this front side going. So again, just what we were doing before, just making sure we get the tops of the ties cleaned out and get all of that in there in between. Now what you want to do, these brushes occasionally, you'll start to get, well, I've got one right now, in fact, so I'll show you what you got to do. Let's see, where are my scissors? Here are my scissors. Let me just grab these, they're right behind the camera. Because if you don't do this, you're going to get stuff flinging out everywhere. Your friend passed away from cancer. I'm sorry to hear that. I like those, so I'm doing it in the back of a pickup truck that he used to own. Oh, that's a good idea. Nice way to honor him. Okay, so occasionally you get these little bristles that pop out. So all I do is I just come in and you just want to make sure they don't stick up too far when they're getting kind of crazy like this, because they'll really take your ballast and they'll just throw it everywhere. So you just kind of occasionally just have to go in and trim it down. All there is to it. Hello, Railheart. We're just working today on ballasting. I've just about got this section done. I'm really happy with how fast it's come along. I shouldn't have said that. Man, I always jinx myself. I know that was probably the curse right there. Just getting the ties where they're visible again, and then we'll start mooshing. Mooshin and dabbing and patting and all that good stuff. This front side's got a steeper. This roadbed has one side that's a little steeper of an incline than the other, so it falls off, it rolls off more. I try always to put that to the back so that it's not as visible, but I don't always do that. It doesn't always work out too well. Stream dreams is engage. Oh, very good information on the gauges. You getting ready to go?
Yeah.
Okay. Almost got that lesson done?
Yeah.
Ah, cool. My son is going to go see his grandmother today for just a little bit. We brought some fish home from the fish fry on last night, and he's going to take the meal over for her. She loves the fish from our church for the fish fries, so yeah.
It's been good seeing everyone chatting. Thanks for tuning in, Model Train Outsider. I was the one chatting in your stream yesterday, so.
Yes, my son is the one that found you. I generally sit in here and work. He's the one that usually takes care of all of the interactions, the online, and if there's something that needs to be answered, he yells it into me and all that. So
Yeah.
I've been trying to take care of all of it today so he can get his homework done.
Yeah, and it's almost done. Hooray!
Yeah.
I think I'm just going to get that other exam done and out of the way, too.
When you get home? Or you do that before you go?
Probably, well, when I get home.
Okay.
Yeah. Possibly even later tonight.
Okay.
I'm not sure.
Sounds good.
It is 75 questions.
The exam? Well, it's not too bad.
No. It's all multiple choice.
Oh, well, at least it's not essay type.
Yeah.
Write a 500 question answer. That'll work.
They had a couple.
Yeah, I know.
Essay types.
Oh, there, we almost. See how I can see this really slopes off. There's a lot of gray showing right here. So what I'll do is when I get done putting the glue along this top edge up here, is I'll come in and I'll sprinkle some more right here because this will get this foam wet when I'm doing this. And then I'll moosh it up onto there, and it'll take care of the problem. It's just what you got to do when you have issues like that. So, all right. So back to the gluing. Yay! All right. Paper towel. Get all the. I think this week I'm going to go ahead. I've been talking about it for a couple of weeks now. I'm going to go ahead and get all the pink foam painted brown. I got a really good dirt brown that there is that'll be like for yards and things like that. If there are any yards, I don't think there really will be, but it'll get rid of this very fake look. And then as I start to develop the streets, I'll come in and I'll use the asphalt color and take care of doing all that. Oh, let's see, Hannah.
Did you see something?
No, Okie Trains has written you.
Oh.
So you might want to.
Let's do it. All right, head out here.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, that's pretty good.
What was it?
He says, I learned at a very young age, if the person next to me writes, I don't know to the answer, never write me neither.
Yeah. Yeah. Or ditto.
Yeah.
Yeah, I saw a really cool thing like that at Christmas. Guy had it's a commercial, guy had a really beautiful setup in his yard and all the lights on and everything, and the neighbor put up a sign with a few little lights that said ditto with an arrow pointing towards the other house.
Oh, yeah.
Remember that commercial? Yeah, same sort of thing. Yeah.
You know, when I have taken exams in person in years past, I have seen people just doodling in the answer spots because they don't know. Yeah. So, yeah, I won't join.
No, he'd get in trouble with his folks if he started doing that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
We're not paying this college or you have to copy other people's answers.
Yeah, no way.
No. All right, boy, we're just moving along here.
That's hey, you made quite the progress.
Yeah, this is probably this will be the first time we've got like one wall section that has all three main lines
Yeah.
done. The straight part of the main line is done.
Right.
That's gonna be weird when we start running the trains on it again.
Uh-huh.
Which we may do tomorrow. Just give this a test. We may do a live session tomorrow. Just do a quick little run. Just see how this runs over these areas. Make sure I get everything cleaned out really well.
Derek says the foam was your idea. Paint it how you want it.
Exactly. Yeah, I know. I just don't like the pink. I'm tired of looking at pink on the foam. So it's just time to actually start doing some colorization to stuff. Yeah. Spies like us. Oh
yeah.
Yeah. That scene in the examination room. I know what you're talking about. All the cameras watching them. We're trying to pass answers back and forth. That was hilarious. Yeah, you've never seen that. See, Gabe's never seen Spies Like Us. So that's one of those things that's actually up on like Prime right now. So I've been telling him we're going to have an 80s throwback weekend one of these times with all those really goofy comedies. And that's one that's up there right now. So yeah, that that was hilarious. And then Dan Aykroyd didn't want to do it to begin with, but then he was more of a culprit than Chevy Chase was as far as how they were doing it. That was really good. Thank you for reminding me about that. That gave me a good chuckle.
Yeah, we'll have to watch it.
All right, so let's see here.
I'm gonna
head out.
Skedaddle. Yeah,
all right,
and then I will
see you in a few hours.
Yeah. Yeah.
Say hi to Grandma for me.
Will do.
He's being a good grandson. He's going over and
yep.
seeing his grandma. I used to do that with my grandfather when he was up there. It's just it's been a little time.
Yeah, it's always nice.
It is
getting a head over that.
She gets really happy about it, and it's a good thing. It's a good thing. Plus, we got good fish for her.
Yeah.
We get good tilapia up here. Some people say it's some of the best they've ever had.
Yeah, it was really good last night. I sampled it.
Did you sample a piece last night?
Okay. Yeah, it was the last piece that was in there. It was half of one.
Yeah. We had like 100 and something people come, 110 people come last night for dinner. So we had everybody gets like 2 pieces of fish. So there was a lot of fish frying last night. Classic movie. Yeah, it is. Now, what did Digger do?
I think they were chatting amongst themselves.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Good. Yeah.
Thanks for tuning in so far, everyone.
Yeah. Here's my salesman here.
Yeah.
He keeps telling me, please like and subscribe.
Yes.
If you like this, and you want to be part of the community here and get the notifications when we're doing this. Like I said, we'll probably do a shorter video tomorrow, and we'll do a cleanup on this track. I'll have it all done, and we'll just do some test riding, see how this came out.
Yeah, we're just 1 subscriber away from 4,800.
Oh, are we?
Oh,
that's pretty good. I've been telling them I'd like to try to get to 5,000 by early mid-March, something like that. So yeah, if you guys like it, like and subscribe. We're gonna have all kinds of content like this. Silly days. That's all right. Got to have a little humor in this world with the way things are going.
Yeah.
All right. Good. I won't keep you more because Grandma's probably watching. It's probably going, why is he talking and not coming over? So you better get to going.
251.
Yeah. All right.
See ya.
See ya. Yes, I went to the theaters to go see it too. Yeah, it did not do well. Those kind of movies never did well. They do so much better with streaming now, and later on, like in the V8 when they went to VHS and they became hits, like you said, cult classics and all this. There's tons of those from back in that era that are worth a watch these days. I love that, how the missiles were going off in that, and you have a tent? Can I borrow your tent? He couldn't think of anything about the world coming to an end. He needed a tent. That was really good. So, yeah. Good movies. I can't remember what we watched now, but we watched an old one with him. What was it? There's two that are getting ready to leave. One he's never seen, and Christine by Stephen King. Ooh boy, great cars. Great cars. Oh yeah, Ghostbusters for sure. He's seen those, even the modern ones and old ones all. But yeah, Christine, the car in that, the friend's car, I had that, not that exact car, but I had that. I had a 68 Dodge Charger. Same color blue, same black top, everything. So I had that when I was in high school. Love that car. Lady ran a red light, hit me so hard that it bent the K-frame underneath and dropped the transmission out of it. She ran a red, and then that was that for that. I had spent 3 years of my high school life restoring it. And that was before cameras and everything, so it was her word against mine as to who ran what. And I was just going through, and nobody that was with me that was driving through the intersection bothered to stop. So again, it was just my word versus hers. So people have been terrible always. But she claimed I ran the red. Like with my car, I babied that thing after I got it done. And then even the police knew that, like, yeah. My dad worked for a parts supply store for automobiles, and one of his contracts were for the city of Albuquerque, where I grew up, the police department. He knew all the police. They all knew him. They all knew me. It's like, yeah, I'm not going to be. The fact that he knew all of them was a deterrent in its own. Plus, it was my pride and joy. Yeah, I'm gonna run a red light. So, but I just yeah, that was a very sad day when I saw it sitting there with that entire front creased in, and if you know anything about those old cars, man, those things were built to last. So that just tells you how fast she was going. But because it didn't have cameras back then on the lights, and nobody had cameras in their cars, that was that for that. I had a 440 Magnum in it with a 727 torque flight transmission. Actually, I had a police interceptor 727 Dad got from the police garage. One that they were getting rid of, and we took it to our mechanic and he went through it. So yes, I'm going to be destroying that and doing stuff where the police can track me down real easily. Well, it hadn't. I'd still have that car to this day. I know I never would have gotten rid of it if it hadn't been for that. I'd customized it quite a bit. All aboard the Oriental Express. Actually, be like here, since we're in the U.S., it'd be like I don't know, the Empire Builder or something like that. All right, so I've got to come in here and put in a little bit where it really did show the foam, and then we'll mush everything down again. You know something? Actually, I don't think my mom's on here today. I haven't seen her username up here because she usually comes on in comments. She's very anonymous. We don't say who she is, but she does come on here and chat. And some of you guys have actually chatted with her. You just don't know that that's my mom. I'll hit these light. You can definitely tell where you put the stuff on because the stuff's a lot lighter than what you got on there. So it's not hard to see where you've been adding back. So I'll come back in and I'll put a little bit of the glue back over the top, and then we'll do the mushing. That way, if some rolls off, I can go ahead and finish it up again, and then we'll be there. So we're getting close to having this, and then I'll just do some cleanup here. I'm probably not going to start that other wall today, I don't think. I was thinking about doing this over here, the wall that's over this way, but all my trains are lined up over there, so I don't really feel like having to power everything up and moving everything out of the way to do it. So being lazy today. This I could get to easily, and the wall just opposite me, behind me, that I've got to do. I have to move my work table out of the way. Now I've got them on those furniture movers, so it's easy to get my work table out of the way, but I just don't feel like messing with that. That's another day. I've been rambling on nonsensically for a while now, so. Get all of this nice and soaking, and then we'll contour it. So later tonight, after it's really kind of dried up, I'll come back in here and I'll clean up anything I need to. I'll hit the vacuum cleaner in the morning, and then we'll do a little live session, probably like noon tomorrow Central Standard Time, and we'll check and see how this works out. So I've also got to clean the rest of the track too. It's been a while. I think it's been a month since I've cleaned all of the track really well, so it's time to get it done. Another one of my least favorite jobs. I need to get a Bright Boy or something similar to clean the track with. Right now I'm just using 600 grit sandpaper and then just wiping off the residue. But this area that's over here underneath the station, I'm not going to be able to do that once everything's in place and lit up. So not easily anyway. Nothing's ever going to be attached and down permanently. But it would just be a lot to have to move just to I don't know how much is that, like 2 foot, 2.5 foot of track, 3 tracks. Clean that, so I'm going to get a track cleaning car of some sort just for doing those little areas. I don't know what would be a good track cleaning car. I know the good ones that they had in HO, but I don't know what they've got in N-Scale. I haven't started to do looking yet. What is this? 68 Chargers are grand. 73 SE vinyl top. SC 119.99 Chicago Mopar. Yep, they were cool cars too. I really wanted a CUDA. But even back then, and this is the 80s, mind you, late 70s, 80s, finding a CUDA that just wasn't a pile of junk for a good price for a project car was virtually impossible. And I barely found this Charger. I had to drive we had to trailer it, got all my friends from high school. We had to trailer it and drive it back about 100 miles. Which is, when you're in high school, that's a big deal. You haven't done anything like that before. And, all right, we're mushing. Mush, mush, mush. I'll just come along here. Push that nice and flat. You thought of getting a brass track cleaning car. Yeah, not 250 for just a cleaning car. That's a little bit out of my range. So I'm sure that auction's over with now. I hope one of you guys went and took advantage of that I was talking about earlier on that Amtrak set, if it's something that you were looking for, because that was one heck of a deal. $399 for 5 N-Scale brass, Overland brass. It had 3 Superliner cars. It was a diner, sleeper, and coach. Had a material handling car and had an AMD 103 powered. And that was an amazing deal. Had a buy it now price of $599. I mean, that comes out to being what? Just a little over $100 a piece. All factory painted. Beautiful paint jobs, never been used. Brand new in the box. Oh, well, how cool that you were Model Train Outsider. Dodge, and yes, you're related. Not directly sad. I like my brain. Oh, very cool. Well, there's a little history there. I'm sure you've got some stories, family stories. Very cool. All right. Let me see. Do I have any spots that came through? I got a little spot right here. And looks like a little spot right there. So I'll just redo those. Do just a little bit right there. Where'd it go? That's why it's so great having this as gray. Because if I miss something, it doesn't really matter. And maybe just a little bit right there. And maybe the tiniest bit right there. Cool. That got it. I do believe. And I'll show you here. I'll get the camera. We'll get down close and show you everything here in just a minute or two. The Dodge Dynasty. I really wish. See, I've got a 2010 Dodge Challenger, and my wife had a 2009, and we also had a 2014. 2014 got caught in a flood, got totaled. My wife's 2009. It's been sitting out in the backyard now for better part of about 3 or 4 years. With her back, she just had to have something that she could basically climb up into versus sitting down into. So we're probably going to sell it. It's just been sitting back there forever. And I still drive mine because back when I bought mine, Dodge, well, Chrysler, whatever, had a thing where you could buy lifetime warranty for $3,000. Whatever happens to the car, they take care of it. We bought it. I will never get rid of that car. It has saved me so much money. I mean, I've had it for 16 years now. And so, when you have a car, because that age stuff starts to happen, and it has, and that $3,000 that we spent has already saved us about $5,000, maybe more. And the warranty even covers engine. Doesn't matter as long as it was a failure on their part versus just normal. Which I mean, I've only got like 60,000 miles on it, so it's not going to be anything from my end. 10 years from now, if that engine goes for some reason, I get a brand new engine. Same with the transmission. I mean, you can't go wrong with it. They did away with that in warranty, which is sad, but I can understand why, because it's probably costing them it was probably costing or is costing them a fortune. So I will always keep it. It's my daily driver. I drive it in the snow. Rear wheel drive and everything, but I know how to pretty well handle it after living in the north for about 25 years. So, and she gets me around, and I love playing in the snow with it. So, it's a fun. All right, there we go. So when that dries, that will start to look like this over here. So what I'm going to do now is I'm just going to go ahead and take the sand, and I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to get this little dividing line put back in. All right, let's see what we got here. Maybe the bigger. I've got a bigger glass, a bigger cup of it here. I've got one that's got a lot of that in it. What I do to get to the good stuff, the thinner stuff, is you just kind of roll it like a trommel, and it'll bring the lighter stuff up. The heavier stuff goes to the bottom. So let's see what I can get here. All right. This, you've got to just take your time doing this. You don't want to get in a hurry. But there, you can see what it's doing. I'm getting my defining line again between my roads, my road beds. This is the first coat. And I'll come in and I'll put the dirt in. This is just the sand. This gives me a light palette to work with for the darker colors. And by sweeping this out of here, what this actually has done is it's kept this little valley between the two tracks, so that even by putting this stuff in right here, we're not even getting close to bringing it up to level with the ties. So it gives you that good slope to it. You can see what that does is it just divides that roadbed right in half. Just the little details. Now I won't glue this down. Like I said, maybe tonight. I'll have it in place, but I won't glue it down until later tonight. I'll want this other roadbed to set up, the ballast to set up on the roadbed. So I'll do it later. But I'm just getting it in place. And some of the glue that's already down in there, because it's in between already, because it just ran down the hill, we'll go ahead and start to saturate this. And if you get too much, you can always come back in and add a little extra ballast on top. If your area there gets too wide, that's all you got to do. All right, I'm gonna change hands here because I got to get here next to heading in towards the shed here, not shed, but the support. And then I'll get, like I said, I'll get the camera and I'll show you a little more detail on everything here, just a little bit. I'm working in a shadow and I'm working left-handed. Two things that aren't going too well. Spin this a little bit, get some more of the light stuff to the top. Heavier stuff to the bottom. Okay. All right, so now one last step will be to put the earth in. We're going to put the earth in. So, and then I'll come back and I'll clean this edge up here too. I'll put some of the sand down along here. I'll do that another day. That's not going to affect doing the test running tomorrow, so I'm just not going to mess with that. Okay, so let's see here. Last thing we're going to put in is this fine turf earth. Just like before, I'm going to put a little bit in the lid. Don't need much. I don't need much. And we'll just grab a little bit of it and not going to cover everything like we did the sand. This is going to be more spotty. You want some of that sand to come through. Like that. And there we go. That's how we get divided tracks. Sure, a lot of you guys have got layouts, have already done all this and know all this, but we do have a lot of people that have said that they've never done any railroading before, and stuff has been pretty informational. Hello, Braden. We are almost done for the day. Like I said, I gotta let stuff dry now. I'll go back as far as I can this way before I get close to this. Then we'll do one more look around for those who have just joined us that weren't here earlier when I did the tour. We'll do that here in just a sec. All right, a little bit more. There we go. Perfect. That's what I want. Now I'll come back in. I'll get the buff ballast that I have, and I'll throw a few little pieces here in there, just to give some extra, little larger rock and stuff. All right, so now I'm just going to put this back in here. So I hope you guys have enjoyed today. Like I said, I'm going to give you a little tour here real quick, showing everything all over again. But I hope you've enjoyed today. Tomorrow we'll be testing this out. We'll have a little live stream tomorrow. We'll throw some trains on it. We'll get it all cleaned out, vacuumed out. Get any glue areas sanded off that might be on the tracks. It'll cause some dead areas. So we'll get all that done. Okay, so let's see what we got going here. Well, thank you, Raiden. I'm about to show the whole thing. All right, so again, here was the glue mix we used. I filled it up to about here with water, about there with glue, and the rest was all Ajax dish detergent. So, and you'll have to play around with that a little bit yourselves, but I showed you how, if you weren't here for it, you can always go review the live stream. I showed you what you want it to look like when you're dropping it on here after I got the wet part on, and how it spreads really easily. Let's see, go to your local train shop and buy your trains from local businesses. Yep, I do that all the time. I do a mix because sometimes the best deals are online, but I get all of my basic supplies from our local train shop. And they'll sometimes have some really good deals on some used equipment they get in. That's always kind of cool. Yes, this is a small scale. This is in scale, is what we've got here. All right, so let me get the camera. We'll back it up. I'll show you everything. One more time here. And then since we're going to be on tomorrow doing some running, I'll show you the engines too. I'll show you those first. Show you some of the weathered stuff I've done. So let me just pull these back just a little bit. Well, I'll just take them off so you can see all the weathering, and I can just pan down. Okay, so you can see this is the kind of weathering I do on all of my cars. Everything gets it. You can see up on top like this. You can see all of that down here, all the rusting, the black. You can see how that looks right there on that. Get some. So I've shown these. I've actually got videos up showing how I get the weathering done. We just did these, the auto racks, not too long ago. There's the Homer auto rack right there. That is based on a graffiti done on a real car. So we did it exactly the way it was done. Some of these up here again, just nice little bit of, show you that top weathering on top of the containers a little more. So we'll be running these tomorrow. We'll be testing this stuff over here that we just did. This is what I was talking about. This is where I really need to work, but I got to slide my table out to do it. I'm going to have to paint this track in place. I may do that tomorrow. I didn't want to take it back off again after I got all the problems fixed with it, so it's just staying in place. So I need to paint it, and then I'm going to have to start doing the road bed right here. All right, so let's show the buildings and everything. I'll do a quick little review of all of this. Okay, so get over here. All right, so these are the three main lines that we have. These are our staging main lines. There's going to be a lot of switching going on right over here. I'll show that in a second. Right over here is going to be our helix that everything is going to come off of from the upper level, lower levels. There's going to be three main lines up here, three main lines down below. Helix goes down to the lower level right here. Going to be all mountain back through here. All of this back over here, that's going to turn into industry. This is all going to turn into, this will be stations over here and some sidings and yard area. Then this is all going to be the switching area right here. We're going to be coming across with these bridge pieces. It'll be a double deck bridge. It'll be then another one on top that's going to get all of these three tracks, including our elevated right here, and the street line that are going to come across right through this, back up here just a little bit here, right through this area right here, and then comes over to here. This is the City Center so far. So right now we have the Artemis complex. This is the 3 right here. We're building 3 more of these that we're taking to the train show to sell. And then here's the 2 big buildings. This is our Leviathan and our Mako, the Artemis. And we'll be working on the Alexandria that's going to go right here. That'll be coming pretty soon, but I'm going to get this bridge done first so I can start getting these other 3 main lines finished up. These 3 tracks down here are pretty much done and ready to go. So we've got that ready. And again, like I said, the helix will go here. We'll talk about the stuff that's going to be over here later, probably later in the week. There's been a big addition that's going to go over here and tie everything in over here. So that's where we're at. So if you want to know about cost, whole thing right now, all that I've done to this point, including all the materials to 3D print all this, all my bench work, all the foam, all the electrical, not counting rolling stock or engines or any of that kind of stuff, I'm in this for less than $500 right now at this point. That includes the foam, all paint, everything. So to have it built to this stage right here, we've got less than $500 into this whole thing. And this is I'll stand back over here so you can get an idea of the size. Let me get this out of the way so we can see it. This is 7 foot by 9 foot, and then obviously 7 and 9. So we have 63 square feet, doubled because of the layout, because of the level down below. So this is, you can pack a lot into a very small space. And we're going to have a total of between 20 and 30 of these skyscrapers on the upper level up here, developing our city. And then down here is going to be all the street, well, not street, but out in the country running. So tomorrow we are going to be finishing up, cleaning all this up, and we'll be testing all of this. We'll probably come on around noon, between 11 and noon Central Standard Time, but we will put up a notice about it. So I hope you have enjoyed today's live stream on doing the work on this. And we do have a second camera coming now. So we'll be doing a split screen here pretty soon, especially when I'm doing work at the table. I'll probably have engines and trains running, and then we'll have a camera down on what I'm working on. This way you can just kind of watch what you want to watch. We're going to have 2 cameras to start off with, and we'll eventually build it to 4. So that's all coming within the next week. Probably within a week and a half, 2 weeks, we'll start experimenting with doing multi-camera shots. So that should be a good addition. Anyway, so hope you guys have had a good Saturday. Like I said, I wasn't really planning on doing a live stream today, but I think it worked out pretty good because we got some good work done. And I hope you guys have enjoyed it. So join us tomorrow. We'll be, like I said, we'll be having a run day tomorrow and maybe a little more work. And we'll just probably about an hour or 2 tomorrow too. So that should be pretty good. Let me get this up here so you can see the top of that. There we go. And I can see everything. So it's going to be really fun putting all this together. And we've, like I said, we've only been at it for about 5 months. So if you want to just stay with us and like and subscribe and get the notifications, because we do put up a notice, I would say anywhere from an hour to 3 hours before we're going to go live. Sometimes we do it the night before if we really know we're going to, but things are kind of fluid. So it just depends on how the weekend shapes out. But anyway, so thanks. And if we don't see you on Sunday, we'll be live streaming next week as well. Excuse me. So take care. Yes, I agree. Lord willing. So we'll hopefully see you tomorrow, and we'll have some fun then. So take care. Have a good rest of your Saturday, everybody. Thank you. Thank you very much for the nice work. I tried to get some good stuff done today and try to be informative about it. So every day is like that. So take care.